All right, guys, it is Thursday and we are inside Fancy. And Fancy is our daily driver. And it's also the car that we've owned the longest. Yes, you've heard that. We've owned this car the longest. We've owned this car longer than all the super cool cars like Supras and GT4s and RX-7s and all the cars that we've had. We've kept this one. Why? Because it's a masterpiece. Now, if you've been with driver's therapy, then you know what I'm about to say. It's kind of like a broken record. Fancy was one of the first years of Genesis. This is actually a Hyundai Genesis, or they always confuse how they say it, Hyundai, but it's before Genesis became its own kind of luxury brand, and it's the car that we all know now that actually has a really good reputation. But like in anything in life, just like in Fast and the Furious, where the guy says, you can't come in the ring and think you could box with the pros. Well, that's what happened with the Genesis. The Genesis came out and everyone, BMW, Mercedes, Lexus, all the high-end brands were like, man, get out of here. Who are you? You're some Korean brand or, some Kia, Hyundai, Frankenstein. We don't know what you are. But Genesis came in and put up a fight and made a name for itself, and it did it with this car, guys. Now you got to think about it. If you're going to show up to a party and you want to impress people, what are you going to do? You're going to dress nice. You're going to make sure you have a good haircut, which I need. You're going to make sure that you represent yourself in a really good way. And that's what Genesis did with this car. As a matter of fact, I always tell people, because I truly believe that they put way more money into this car than for what they sold it for. And it makes sense though, because this was their first impression. This was their first kind of foot in front of what people were gonna see. This was what the world was gonna judge. And let me tell you, they went all out. Now, the Genesis has a 3.8 V6 engine, and it came out with a V8. It was like a special R model. That seems pretty cool. I wish I could drive one of those, because we have the V6 and it's enough power, but they kind of made a sporty version of the Genesis, which is wild. Now this is rear wheel drive, and it's got some of the nice technology features that you want for the car. It's got ABS, traction control, it's got an automatic transmission, and you could put it in like up and down, plus and minus, in case you need to do that. But besides that, it's a very quiet engine, the V6. The transmission's very smooth, and the real crazy part is that I love to do maintenance, right? So the oil changes are pretty easy. We've done the differential, but for a long time we did a lot of research about doing the transmission fluid change, and it's like everyone says it's a sealed transmission. So the crazy thing is, we have not touched the transmission on this car, and again, it has 164,000 miles, and we have literally driven it up and down mountains all over the country, humid, cold, hot. So I guess it's true when they say lifetime fluid, because she's still going. So we weren't looking for a Genesis. We went to Subaru and we wanted to buy a brand new Subaru Outback, and we saw Fancy in the lot, and she looked literally brand new. We were like, what is going on? And I went over there and they were asking something like $10,000 or $11,000. I forgot the exact number, but it's in that range. And I looked at the car and it was literally like brand new, and I was like, 10 grand for this? So we went out for a drive and it drove like a dream, and of course we negotiated, and after that it's been a wrap. So Elise just launched her Instagram for Fancy, and the reason why is because we have 160, let me tell you real quick, I'll tell you right now, we've got 164,000 miles, and we're trying to get to the moon. And the moon is, I gotta ask Elise, how many miles is the moon?
226,000 at its closest.
226,000 as close as Elise says. So we're just gonna have a little fun Instagram. The Instagram is called Genesis to Moon, and you guys need to go follow it because Elise takes amazing photos and she has the funnest way with words, and she's gonna have a lot of fun with the Instagram. But we've loved this car because it's just been so good to us. We've been all over the country. It is so comfortable, and guys, like, we're gonna have to do a pan of the back seats because this thing is a beautiful, beautiful car. I mean, it is absolutely just like luxurious in every way. Like, it feels good, it drives good, like it's quiet, it's comfortable, the seats feel good, it's got heated seats. But this car is also like a warrior because it has sat outside majority of its life and the paint is still perfect, which is crazy. If you would have done that to any car, majority of cars, the paint would have been dead. I think they went extra on the paint. Now, since we have a goal to get to the moon, what have we done? We've replaced some things. We replaced the seat cover because this seat got all tore up. We replaced one. We've got new headlights. We've got new trim pieces that over time they've kind of faded, and the headlights kind of, you know, they got that kind of yellowish and started to kind of do some peeling action. And I found some headlights on eBay because I purchased all my parts on eBay for this car, used and new. And let me tell you, it is just amazing. So for Thursday, we wanted to show you guys Fancy, the car that we absolutely love. And don't forget to follow Elise's new Instagram page, Genesis to Moon, because Elise is amazing. And we're all gunning for the Genesis to get to the moon because she is amazing.